Kim D crawls out of the dumpster, and Jacqueline sends Robin to the trash. That and more in tonight's Real Housewives of New Jersey episode, Season 7, Episode 11, Rage on My... Coming at you right now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, AfterBuzzers, and we have a little bit more class than the ladies of the New Jersey Housewives, so I'm not, like, what is this title? Like, what is the show? What can we say? Here we are to talk about it all. I'm your host, Grant Rutter. You guys can find me on Twitter at Grants__rants, and the full panel is here.
Hi, Fern Ronay here. Happy to be back.
Oh my God, fresh off her, I don't even know, your investigative reporting at Real.
Yes.
Welcome back, Fern.
Thank you.
It is Megan Stecher. Hi, guys. And tweet me at Megan Stecher.
Hi, it's Anabelle DeSisto, and you can tweet me at AnabelleLee417.
Hello.
Shout out to everybody on Twitter saying such nice things this week. We're so excited people are still listening.
Yes.
And
give
watching.
Credit. You know, I mean, I got a friend of mine even said, like, I think I'm done after this week. He's like, I think I'm really, really done. And he is a super fan of the show. So
Oh, wow.
It's hard times.
It's hard times in Jersey.
It's tough times.
Yes, but we are going to deliver our recap, and we're going to do it with a smile on. No, it's all good because we're glad to have you here, and we're so grateful that you support our show here. So let's do it. Let's talk about it. Rails. We pick right back up the rails. Fern, you reported boots on the ground.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for that. We loved it.
Of course.
We love. When I first heard it, I was so excited. I was like, we get to do. Can't wait to have it on.
And he was on last week, Anthony. He served the wine.
Oh, yeah.
For his brief 15 seconds of
Yes. Anything else?
Is he the same one she was like, we're not eating when he tried to give a
No,
menu?
that one I
was
tried
the
to
server.
look at the person's face, but I didn't think it was, you couldn't
Oh,
see
okay.
the face.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah, because they were there like 2 or 3 or maybe 6 times last week.
I know.
Any last minute thoughts on Rails, Fern?
It was really good. The food was really good. Thank you, Pat, the event manager, for planning my mother's birthday party. It was great. It was
Did you have
a good
the
restaurant.
lobster bisque through a straw?
I didn't with the babushka on my head. I wish I could have reenacted the whole thing. We found the speakeasy. We found the book.
Oh,
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
I know. It was really fun. It's a good restaurant. We'll go back.
Nice. Well, this episode picked up, in case if you missed it last week, they rewound the tapes like 10 minutes for Rosie to have the conversation was, I was going to say continued, but no, it was the same thing we saw last week about her begging for Teresa's attention to stay in touch and to do all this stuff and not taking a damn hint. I don't get these people who don't take hints, especially social cues. You can tell when you're like, when someone is not interested. I mean, she must have a hard time dating.
I don't even know what to say to that. Oh my God. Look,
No, I agree,
Rosie.
yeah.
I'm not being
Rosie
mean, I'm
was
just
a
saying.
looker in the day. Who sent you guys? Did you send Grant that photo on
I
Twitter?
saw that picture and I was like, ooh, that was a sight that I can never unsee.
Yeah,
First of all, I
concur.
thought Rosie looked so beautiful in that picture. I was shocked because I thought Kathy looks better now.
That photo was out of a horror film from 1976.
Stop. It was definitely from the 80s. That Kathy Perm fro was so
We will
80s.
retweet it for an early, Halloween spirit. Like, let's get into it, you guys.
My comment about having a hard time dating has nothing to do with her looks. It's just not being able to take a hint that maybe, the relationship isn't going to go anywhere. Mm-hmm. That's where I'm coming from.
Well, yeah.
No, I totally agree. Teresa was obviously being like, I don't want anything bad to happen to you. You're my cousins. We're blood. Go live your life. Don't ever talk to me again. And they were not getting it.
They were not getting it. And then they had the phone call with Rosie and Kathy called up because all the other ladies, Siggy and everyone, wanted to know how it went. And I was like, these ladies are going to be disappointed because there's not much to report. There's really not that much to report here. And Kathy said nothing. And Rosie just kept going. Maybe Kathy gets it. At this point, maybe she thought about it and she gets it. But Rosie, I don't know.
I feel like because this season's going so slow, I'm looking so hard at every scene because you can keep up. It's not enough action to not be able to keep up, kind of like New York. And I'm watching this scene and I'm like, this is so like first year Housewives. Siggy and Dolores show up to watch Jacqueline take a 4-minute speakerphone call. I mean, The amount of scenes I've watched this season of like Siggy and Dolores show up to sit around somebody's
Dolores
kitchen
will
table.
look for any excuse not to be at work. She's like, oh, there's going to be a phone call that I actually have no ties into whatsoever.
What's the call time? I'll be there.
All right, let's lock up Powerhouse Gym. Once again, the most ironic gym title in the world. Nobody's here anyway, so I don't have to kick any of the people out.
That's true.
And like Siggy, like she's the one who has most of a job, but still on hand at any time there is a phone call.
Yes. And true to every Housewives city, they had the packing scenes. Everyone loves to watch the packing scenes.
And ordering food. Always what they order, always packing.
Andy Cohen said that I think it was in his book or somewhere, he was saying, like, I love to see what the women order. I think it's so interesting, and to see if they order the same thing. And I'm like, I'm not a foodie, so I couldn't care less what someone instructs someone to order. I just don't care. But that's always been something they highlight. They do that at OC, too. They had an episode tonight, and it was like Shannon and David had to, like, they went through the menu. I'm like, why?
Yeah, I don't know why they like announce it like they're doing like a Yelp review out loud, but maybe it's because they have to promote it for filming reasons, or maybe it's like the producers that were like, make sure people think you eat, wink, wink, like be like, oh yes, I love this pasta, num num num. Like, I mean, Melissa, how much food do you really think she's eating?
I wonder if they think it gives us insight to the type of people they are. Like, the way they treat the staff, what they're ordering.
Right.
I don't know.
I am, however, interested in the drinks, especially in Beverly Hills. For some reason, they always order really good stuff.
Everything's like gorgeous in Beverly, like a gorgeous frosted martini glass, and it's pink, and
At
there's like
least
a
in
flower
Beverly
I'd
hanging
do
off.
anything. That's what we need to be having while screening this show. I think we really should introduce a drink.
Listeners, it's time for us to start boozing it up to get through the episodes.
Just black water and vodka.
That must be the ugliest drink
Wait,
ever.
that sounds like a great Halloween
Guys,
cocktail.
we're gonna do it next week. We're gonna bring in some black water. At least with the packing scenes in Beverly Hills, you have closet envy. And not envy, I mean, you know, Melissa's store, quote unquote. But like you have the closet envy, you have like the dream Pinterest, you know, the shoe rack,
yes.
you know, and you see the help, like the help is packing.
has to
and
pack
it's
for
like
them.
this packing, it's like Melania's in the suitcase, like little Joey's kicking Big Joe like on the floor, and she's like, Joey, after like the third time he kicks his dad, he just like runs away, and she's like, all right, back to Pat. Like, it was like, yeah, really strong parenting on that one.
Yeah.
Just like she needs to be back to being a parent. It was like, was she before? Like, she's just like, they're running everywhere. But it's just, yeah, there's no closet envy. It's just sad.
Yeah.
A lot of big rooms with not enough furniture in them in Jersey for me.
Yes.
A lot of big spaces with nothing in it.
And a lot of
Exactly.
kids laying around.
Seems to be the theme.
Right. Well, Robin and Christine are coming. I don't think we've seen these ladies on the show prior. There's another season, have we? No.
No.
I don't
I
recognize
read a
them.
shady tweet from Jacqueline where someone was asking about this Robin chick. Because it seemed to me almost like she was like auditioning to try to be on the show, and maybe this was filmed or given to us a little out of order from when it was actually filmed. But Jacqueline wrote, I met her a couple times. She was trying desperately to get on the show through any one of us this year, and it didn't happen.
Yeah. I remember reading when they started production on the show that they were going to have a woman and her wife join the show, and so it's these two, and it was like, you know, it's like they're like they're not friends of, they're official housewives. One of them was. So I kind of forgot about that until this woman came along. I was like, oh, this is that chick. So she must have told everyone she's a Real Housewife, but not really on the show.
Cut.
So yeah, because she. I don't know. We'll get into maybe our reasons why later. Melissa questions if Jacqueline is 100% with Teresa because she seems very paranoid around her. So Jacqueline, who can keep track? Like, her behavior is so all over the place. I don't know. Jacqueline is looking awful this season. She, as a person. Now,
Oh, it's like literally or figurative. I mean, anyway, so I didn't know which one. Yeah, she's so erratic and all over the place and so intense. Like, whatever emotion it is, it's like to 1,000%. And I'm just like, maybe I'm just like not smart enough to keep up with this. Like, it's fucking like Homeland. But it's like, I can't figure out like what exactly is Jacqueline's problem. Because it's not, she's not being cut out by Teresa. She's not Rosie or Kathy. So it's, I don't understand. She didn't have to go to jail. I don't understand. Like, what is her problem?
I'm wondering if she's just turning it on for the cameras. Like, anytime there's any kind of heightened or any kind of a discussion where people aren't agreeing, she tries to turn it into a big explosion scene, which as viewers we like, but it doesn't make any sense because she's going from a 2 to a 10 out of nowhere and no one else is.
Yeah, it's not very
So
authentic.
it's like she's for me, it's like she's stunting. She's like showing out. And it's obvious to us because no one else. And I'm like, well, either she's manic depressive or like she's just being fake. And it's.
I mean, that's why I loved like Robin showing up because at least like I wonder if like that really like freaked Jacqueline out because she's like, I'm the one who's desperate for attention. Like, get out. And like, so Jacqueline's really like peacocking. Like, no, this is me. Like, you're taking my role.
Yeah.
I'm the one who shouldn't be on here. It's me.
Completely agree.
Well, if anyone was checking for Kim D, you had your moment tonight. Posh has moved to a new store. Kim D, the ladies all show up, and the first line is, "Want me to show yous around?" I swear she went to the same high school as Joe Giudice.
I'm sure they did.
Want me to show yous around? Well, so
Wait, yours is so Philly too. Like it's just.
yeah, it's in Rhode Island too. They don't even. The thing is, they don't even realize it. It's like Teresa with the what does she say? The Texas. It's
My
the Texases.
Texases.
Yeah, it's like they don't even realize. Like, doesn't it? Like when you say that, doesn't it sound ridiculous? Don't you feel like something's off? You know, sometimes you say something like, "Wait, you know."
But you acknowledge it. But
Yeah.
it's like they have no shame in they're
no clue.
They're not like, oh, I'm sorry. It was just keep steamer like.
Yeah. And I love that on the awning she had, not only does it say Posh, but in the lower part of it has to say by Kim D.
Good.
The
Kyle by Aileen too.
Yes.
Who are these people without a real last name?
The ego is alive and well.
Oh my god.
Yes. So after she showed us around, the women had to try on things. And then she immediately starts shit. And you know what? We expect this from her, though. I'd be disappointed if she didn't. You know? So she says, well, our favorite mouth-breathing employee, we're terrible. You know what I'm talking about.
The mouth breather, Derek, yes.
Derek, well, he runs Melissa's store, and so she brings up this as a point of contention because he allegedly sold videos and took stuff from one of Teresa's book sightings years ago. And so now Melissa has added him to her camp. So this should be a tremendous problem that it isn't.
Yes, why? I feel like the editors are doing a terrible job this year. They're giving us cutting room floor footage as filler all the time, but like when we really could be making a problem out of something, give us that. I felt like they cut down Melissa not getting like I feel like she probably got a little more upset and said a little more when they were discussing this later on, and they cut it out.
Right, I totally agree. Like, there's more to be said about this.
Right. She
that's
all of a
all
sudden
she
was
said.
like, I'm going inside. And she was kind of disagreeing when Teresa was like, I like Kim D, but, and Melissa's like, no, she's a horrible person. Like, yes, let's see people getting upset.
Right.
Ugh.
They're all just trying to be on good behavior.
Speaking of Derek, I met him when I went to Envy, and he was supposed to come in a couple times to be on our other after shows for Beverly Hills. But I just checked his Instagram to see if he said anything about the show, and he quit Envy 4 days ago.
Oh, wow.
Wow. I wonder if Melissa let him see the advanced copy. You know how they get the advanced copy to write their blogs?
Did he quit Envy or did Envy quit him?
I don't know.
Ooh.
I don't know.
That is
so maybe
inside
there's more to
scoop.
the story. I don't know.
I like that. It's cool. That is a very interesting thing.
Well, Derek, if you're watching, give
He
us
does
a-
have
I
hosting
know.
aspirations.
He does.
Come see how it's done at AfterBuzz.
With us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
People are begging you to take my seat. Trust me. So, please.
I thought it was like, I was feeling bad about myself when I heard Melissa be like, you know, his dream is to be a host. And you go on a red carpet and there are those randoms and you're like, who is this guy? But you like give him a moment of your time. And I'm like,
Ooh.
bitch.
Yes.
Yeah, do you realize the people on the red carpet are calling you a random, Melissa? They're like,
Right.
Yeah, like
you're
that
not
one
exactly at
time
the
you were on
Golden Globes.
Entertainment
Exactly.
Tonight. Get over it.
You're probably you know. And then later on, she's like, I have an announcement. I'm having a fashion show, the first annual Envy fashion show. And there's the host on the carpet. And who are you going to have, Melissa?
But don't you guys feel like Kim D got a call from a producer being like, we're gonna feed you this
he's like,
about Derek, and
Yeah.
we're gonna send Siggy and Jacqueline in, and you're gonna talk about it, and that'll be your scene.
It was a story producer like needing to deliver
Right.
something to Bravo by the end of the month.
Right. I think they thought they're
Obviously.
killing two birds with one stone. Getting Kim to be neck and neck with Melissa for like the boutique fashion show wars. And then it's also like, we're going to feed you this Derek story on a plate so you can just throw it up in the air and watch it explode. But
she took
did
it.
not.
She did what she could, but it didn't go too very far. Kim D says that they're not coexisting. Teresa and Melissa are just not coexisting because of this employee.
How would she know?
Exactly. And why does she care? It's not your family.
And she's like, I will
Shut up.
never in a million years believe that they are true friends. And it's like, why do you care? I'm like,
Exactly.
Are you worrying that, like, if you should stop those, like, best friend necklaces and, like,
Yeah.
your store? Like, why do you care if they're friends? Like, you're...
Well, I think she's holding so hard onto like how exciting her life got with her getting on this show, being in on all that Teresa trying to make Melissa look bad on camera stuff, and that was like the thrill of a lifetime for her, and she's holding on to that. And she's like,
For
oh,
dear
I'll
life.
never believe Teresa.
taking a break from being a Victoria Gotti lookalike at parties.
Oh, remember that? Was she the one with the hair? There was one scene we were commenting. One of them had really bad hair. It was one of the other Teresa soldiers. It was that blonde chick, like from 2 seasons back. She had. I remember she had like
Penny?
really bad hair. I think. Yeah.
There was like a Penny and a Jan.
Oh, one of the two. I don't know. Probably both had bad hair.
yeah.
Siggy was really enjoying Posh, and it kind of made me lose a little bit for her in this episode. What did you think? She was really into it.
There's no, so Siggy doesn't have...
Better than this.
Yeah, there's no dynamics with her character. Like, she's on everyone's side. She's gonna tell everyone why she's on everyone's side, because she's a relationship expert. Like, you kind of have to pick sides, is like the fun of being a housewife, and
Right.
then there's somebody you don't agree with, and
Exactly.
that's why we watch the show. She agrees with everybody.
She's positive. She loves everybody.
She's just sitting on the fence, like enjoying the moment.
The only thing she doesn't agree with is her kids getting older. Like
Right.
the only enemy she has is time.
Right.
That's it. That is the only
Right.
drama in her storylines. It's just
Right.
like crying because
And
time has passed.
She's a
And we
really
went-
fun personality, but no point of view.
Right.
She's
Exactly.
showing up and faking that she loves everyone, is on everyone's side. I love this boutique. I love this dress. I love meeting you, Kim D. And it's like, okay, Siggy, it's 11 weeks in. I need a little something.
Yeah.
I know you got a
point.
fiery opinion under there somewhere.
We learned she had a good rack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
they're
was-
real. Who? I don't even know if
I'm
anybody
just
else
here
has real
reporting
tits.
the news because
Because that was one of the biggest highlights of the show is that she has real naturals and they're great.
And she flashes them.
And
Isn't that great?
she had fake ones and then she took them out. It doesn't.
Dolores was impressed, and then there we are.
Yeah, she's hard to impress.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Dolores, she put the "We'll be back later" clothes sign on the gym and got in the bus to go to Vermont. They all get in the bus. Annabelle, you pointed out a little product placement.
Oh yeah, if you looked behind Teresa's head, which how could you not, at the hair, in the most pivotal scene of them fighting in the bus, there was a lovely display of little Colonel bags in every different color.
Your favorite.
Shout out to Little Colonel.
Shout out to Bethany Frankel for, giving everybody the idea to put their product just
On the
wrapped
show.
anywhere.
I feel like Chris got up and was like, kind of like seeing the shots.
Do you notice that it wasn't there before in any of the shots,
Yeah.
and then when it really started getting juicy, all of a sudden, magically, 3 bags perfectly placed.
I can't believe the
Smart.
producer in that bus let them do that.
Well, honestly,
Smart.
they're probably just like, we'll play, instead of having to eat it, they're like, yeah, let's just put it up on the wall.
Well, it was also laying on the table when they did the phone call to Kathy.
Oh.
So I was like, I don't know what flavor it was, but I did finish that bag of truffle that I
You don't
really
know what
enjoyed
flavor
last
it is
week.
because it doesn't taste like anything.
The truffle does
I am
taste
an-
like truffle.
I am an eater. I will eat anything. I'm not a foodie. I can't call that a food because you put it on and you put it in your mouth and you're like, I'm almost hungrier now because I don't know what was in there.
For the record, they're not. For those who think that they're like a promotional thing, they're not. They're not promoting our show.
Right. They
we're
sent them for free.
Yeah, we're just like throwing it out there. So we're like, you're hating on them, and they're giving you free. Well, they did, but they're not sponsoring AFTERBUZZ
They have
TV.
plenty of free bags.
I'm not hating on the truffle flavor. I will wholeheartedly take a free bag of truffle flavor.
Well, I love.
But yeah, the product placement in the not so party bus, that angry bus.
You know what though? If I was on one of these shows, I'd find a way to promote. It's Grant's Rants Hollywood Live. I would find a way to-
Yeah, I have
I
my
know
book
someone
behind
else.
everybody's head.
There you
Yes.
go.
I would find a way. So I can't blame them. But whatever.
White
So
cheddar and the butter weren't bad.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
He had the white cheddar and the butter. There you
See,
go.
we're
I like the
equal
illustration on the
opportunity.
bags. The bags are fun to look at. I like the color.
Yes.
The little kernel.
Trying to find a silver line.
So-
The colors are good.
On the bus, Melissa says, "Oh, well, Teresa's going to be a little bit of a single mother coming up." That is such a weird thing to call out, like, because you're going to Vermont. What does that have to do? Like, did you catch that?
This is why Kim
Yeah.
D will never believe that they are actually getting along.
Oh, it was Melissa who said it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Jacqueline for some reason. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess, I don't know.
You know what? Remember that note that Melissa, the card that Melissa gave Teresa? Congratulations on
On your
newly
redone.
redone home. So yeah,
I didn't think it was shade. I thought
don't-
it was,
no.
you thought it was shady?
Unfortunately, I don't think it was.
I
I could only hope.
I think she was like thinking that she doesn't have her husband because he helps
Yeah.
out so much. I don't know.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Well, Teresa says that, I don't know why I have this. Teresa says there's no hope for what? For what? I don't know what that was.
For the season?
For Rosie and Kathy
Rosie.
relationship.
Oh, okay.
Thank you
That
for the
could have gone so
correction.
many different
Yes.
ways.
Yeah.
Yes. And then Robin's like, yeah, well, blah, blah, blah. Like, they need to figure it out. And that was the end of that. Rosie has an issue with Robin. Apparently, there was some falling out. And there was that other awkward scene, flashback.
At the book signing where it's like, I felt like it was the same fight, just in a much sadder, like, store brand version, where it's like Rosie's asking Teresa to go out to lunch and like that she like missed her Texas's, and she's like, oh, I can't. And so then you see Rosie walk away from that table, and Robin's right there, and she's like, did you get my text? And Rosie's like, oh, I've been out of state for work, and like walks away. Rosie, the international traveler.
My, how the
exactly right.
tables have turned.
So it's just like she's getting. It's the exact same thing.
Yes, it is. It's the same thing. Oh, I yeah, these two. Who knows? I wonder if they, because I assume Robin's married to a woman, so I wondered what the past was, but I don't
didn't
think
know
they were
that.
together.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah, I don't know.
That woman with the long wavy hair that was there?
Christine, I'm almost
Oh,
positive.
I didn't- I
if
totally
they're not
missed that.
married, they're partners or whatever.
Oh, I totally missed that.
So I was
Okay.
wondering if they were gonna play that up, and they didn't really reference them as, oh, this is Robin's girlfriend or whatever. Maybe they did in the Chirons, like the names. I don't know, but I felt
Is
like
Rosie
that's interesting.
Robin's ex-girlfriend? Maybe?
I don't know.
From years ago?
It seemed like the way that Robin talked about it seemed like Rosie was really trying to get in with her. And we know how that goes. It's like be a little heavy-handed with trying to get in.
I think it's because Robin doesn't have a role on the show, so why would Rosie care so much about like mending that friendship? She's much more
Yeah.
concerned about mending a friendship with somebody who has cameras on them 24/7.
Well, Jacqueline flips out in the van and says that she goes out. She says that when Teresa looks like she was like, it looks like Robin is pushing something on Teresa regarding her why she should be unhappy with Melissa, right? Because it was about they threw out the Derek. They threw out the situation, right?
Are you saying in the van?
In the van?
No,
What?
they were
What was
they were fighting
happening?
about the Rosie and Kathy.
Oh.
About how right?
This is the part of the episode where Grant starts checking Twitter instead of watching the show.
Because they
I
were
had a very
debating.
active Twitter tonight.
Jacqueline was Jacqueline and Chris's problem with Teresa was that they were saying that she wasn't very clear about when
Oh.
she said like the doors are open, and Teresa's like, well, they knew what I meant, and of course Jacqueline was like, I don't think they know, and you didn't make
Yeah.
it clear, and blah blah blah, and I'm just like, she has so many opinions about a thing she wasn't at, and how they feel, and how Teresa feels,
They
and
didn't
also.
fight.
When she's like, it's family, it's family. It's like, you're right, it's family. So why the fuck are you
Yes.
in it?
Right.
Right.
Like, why do you
It's
care?
none of our business. Yep.
Focus more on Little Colonel. Like, focus more on the profits for that. Like, what is happening?
And then she said that Robin is very hyper. And I was like, great. So why did we cut her from the show? I mean,
Right. She
Come on,
is
guys.
like, she scares me in a way that
She has an intensity. About her.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like when she was like, "I will effing rage on your ass," I believed her. So, yeah, it wasn't like empty threats situation, like a Danielle Staub episode. Like, I am afraid of this girl beating my ass.
Did you see Watch What Happens Live? Was it on Watch What Happens Live where Jacqueline said she was arrested only months earlier for punching someone?
Oh, I missed
Robin
it.
was
Yeah,
arrested?
that's what I think she meant.
I
Yeah.
didn't watch it last night.
Well, then she fits in with the rest of the cast. So
Yeah. Yep.
A rap sheet is bare minimum requirement for being a housewife on New Jersey.
On this show, and isn't that a shame though? Like, I wonder if Siggy ever feels like, wait, what am I associated with? Like, you think of the Joe and Joe fighting. You think of all the other stuff that's went on with throwing stuff and the fighting with Caroline. Remember that they had to have that sit down, Caroline and Danielle, and she calls her the clown and all that.
I mean, I would, God, what I wouldn't give to go back and see, to go to the time that Jacqueline hit
Caroline.
Oh my God.
What?
Would you not
I
go,
would
if I had a time machine to go back to, if I could Doc Brown it to one moment in time.
Well, in the press, Caroline said she was really upset when Teresa originally brought that up the first time back in like 2012 on the show.
Oh,
So
right,
God knows what was being muttered in the
Right.
Manzo household last night when
Yes.
Teresa has now said it a second time on the show.
But didn't they bring it up in the very first reunion? Didn't they?
I thought Teresa brought it
Oh,
up, and
did
that's
she?
why Caroline got really mad. Caroline was like, she had postpartum. We've forgiven and forgotten.
And
That's
it was-
horrible of her to use it against us.
Oh.
Sounds like her, yeah. No, I mean a good way. This show, I'm convinced. This show, I'm convinced it's stuck in 2011 because I learned
yeah.
that all those reunion scenes with Kathy and Rosie, and she was gonna like go out there and like kill. That was all. I was corrected on Twitter, and thank you for the intel. That was from 2011. And then this episode, all those flashbacks about Melissa's stripper past were also from 2011. I'm trying to think what has happened since then.
It was like the twin season was like never happened.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God.
Speaking of
We're gonna give them time. All right, go ahead.
What?
our favorites, Jim and Amber from last season, not really our favorites, but the only people willing to go there in the crazy department, they were on the Tomorrow Show. So our CEO and co-founder Kevin's podcast. So live from his studio tonight, Jim and Amber joined them over Skype from, I guess, their house in New Jersey. And Jim had a lot of bombs to drop. We'll do that as a little news and gossip segment.
All right, we'll be keeping up with them.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
I was going to
tuned.
leave, and now I'm committed to staying
It's a
here.
real nail biter.
Okay.
Well, so the
It
fire.
wasn't. Was it not pretty? But what is pretty? Did we do this?
Oh yeah. No. Thank you for that transition. Yes.
Forgot what I was supposed to do over here. Guess what is pretty?
What could
Will
what?
be your face after you. Fern. After you get the BeautyCon box in the mail. So guys, BeautyCon box, I know we've been telling you about this for a few weeks now. It's a subscription box that's delivered to your door each season. So you guys know the drill with these kinds of things. What's cool about this one is that they are curated by your favorite beauty gurus. So your favorite YouTube makeup artists and other people really well known for being popular in the makeup industry are picking out these products for you. It's a really good deal. You're going to get over $150 worth of products for only $30. You're going to save $20 if you sign up for the annual payment plan. Guys, I say this every week. $20 saving for the annual payment plan on top of getting $30 worth of product. I'm sorry, $150 worth of product for $30. I'm making this harder than it is. With the annual payment plan, you're going to pay the total cost, but with the seasonal payment plan, you'll pay each month plus shipping. If you want to get this deal, guys, go to beautycon.com/box to sign up for your subscription. And if you use the code BOXBUZZ, you'll get 20% off in addition to all those other good deals we just talked about. Some of the stuff in the box this past season were the Redken Sea Salt Spray to give yourself some beachy summer waves. The Smashbox Brow, which is Candy Johnson, picked out for you guys for that box. It is her go-to brow product. And also the NYX Ombre Lip Duo in the Peaches and Cream. So that was all in the summer box. So looking forward to what's in the fall box. You guys should go on beautycon.com/box and sign up using the code BOXBUZZ.
Thank you for that.
Even
one.
cheaper than how the
Awesome.
clothes look at Envy. That's a really good price.
I love it. Love it. The fire pit. They sat down and they all thought they were so cool. in these white robes.
I
Yeah.
can't with the robes at dinner.
I know. I was like, what's going on there?
Yeah.
That was weird.
Siggy immediately tries to see YA. Was like, we all went to Posh the other day. We just kind of went in. We didn't really buy anything. We just
Yeah, it
kinda
made
went
that
in.
read look natural. I mean, it was so weird. It was just came out of nowhere, her doing that.
It's almost like they hired a therapist to be on the show with the girls. So it's calmer than it should be. Because she's
Too calm.
laying everything out right away rather than beating around the bush.
Yeah,
She's so
nothing comes out,
Right,
you know?
she's so freaking honest. She's on no one's side. It's like,
Yeah. So Jacqueline says that Jacqueline brings up the whole the suspicion around your manager who sold videos, and Teresa's like, well, just look into it. That's all we asked. Just look into it, and that was basically it for that at that point until things went crazy when again Jacqueline had to continue to insert her nose in not her own business, literally,
and not her own nose.
Yes. Thank you. Melissa, what else did she say? Oh, that her gut says that he's a good kid. Well, it's all over with now. They're hiring, I guess, according to Fern.
Check his Instagram.
Yeah, Robin says that Jacqueline confuses her and that she's not direct and she felt prejudged and attacked. And I can understand that because Jacqueline's behavior has been all over the place. I can understand why Robin would feel that way. But again, we haven't seen Robin. They cut her from the show, so now it's we're supposed to... There's something going on.
I felt
there
like that there was backstory that we missed because,
Right.
It sounds like you missed 10 episodes because
Exactly.
it seems to be a very strong relationship. I mean, a lot of friction there, but it's it just came out of nowhere because this person came out of nowhere. So I feel like
and we haven't seen her fight for Teresa. We haven't seen her be a soldier. I haven't seen that. Mm-hmm. So it's we're being told, not shown.
And one of Jacqueline's problems with her is that she, I guess, stands up for Teresa all the time, and she's like, as I like to call them, Teresa soldiers. And I was like, I thought it was going to be something clever because when she's like, as I like to call them, Teresa soldiers, it was just I'm just yeah, it's I thought they were called tree huggers. Is it?
Right.
Well, yeah, those are the big fans. I guess the Britney
social
Army,
media
the
fans.
Bay
Okay.
Hive, those people.
Teresa soldier. I mean, it doesn't even
Britney
rhyme.
Army is not creative.
I know. They call her the Holy Spirit. Do you think they call it something biblical?
That's clever.
I think they'd be something biblical, but...
I mean, Teresa soldier. I mean,
That's
Teresa's
as good as it
Army.
gets.
Way
That's as
clever
good
than
as it
that.
gets,
Where can
yeah.
I get a Teresa's Army t-shirt is what I want to know.
Yes, well,
but
that...
she's you're
She's-
mad at her for
she's
being
selling
a
them.
dedicated friend.
Teresa's selling t-shirts at her next book signing for cash only.
Italians
No
love cash
videos,
only.
no videos.
You understand?
No
They
They
really do.
Cash is king. No returns.
No videos either.
That was before Venmo, guys. Let's give her,
Right.
Or the square.
Yeah,
You know that
give her
square
some-
plugin?
But let's talk about why is Jacqueline so upset at Robin for being a supportive friend? I just don't... Am I missing something?
No,
We
but
can't figure. We need
know.
a
Here's what I
string
think.
chart.
Here's what I think. I think that Jacqueline had tried to tell Teresa in the past something about you got all these little worshipers around you, all these little hangers on that want to be famous or want to be around you because you're famous, want something from you because they think they can get it through your fame.
And that's her.
And you need to clean house. These people probably got you in trouble. This person might have gone to the feds and told them about you or whatever. I think Jacqueline wanted Teresa to look out for these people and was probably jealous that
Yep.
all
that's
these
it.
people were around Teresa all the time, and she's being left out because they had their big falling out, and she's labeling this chick one of them.
Good
Perfectly
analysis. Yes.
Perfect.
All very likely.
But it was such bad editing this year. They should have introduced
Yes.
Robin earlier, shown her at the things.
Yeah, well, she was at the New Year's Eve party, so there's at least plant that seed.
Right.
you know?
She was probably at what was the birthday, Dolores' birthday party. Like, she was probably at the bigger scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid.
That's when she said she was gonna rage all over her ass, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like, really? Jacqueline, Robin, she says, pay attention, little girl. And then they're having this awkward goodbye scene where Jacqueline won't let
sat
it go.
on her.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
If somebody, I get fighting, because I was just finally a fighting scene. Finally. That's not the kids with each other. It was finally a fighting scene where, what's her name was said that she was going to rage on her ass. So Jacqueline stood up very maturely and was like, just do it! And then proceeded to sit on Robin. And Robin's like, get off me, get off me, get off me. And so have to go in their robes, which is like seeing grown women fight in robes is hilarious. So they have to then like pull Jacqueline off her, and she's like, don't you ever sit on me again. But it's like, also, if somebody came to like put their physical body on me, like, I'd freak out.
She should have raged on her ass. Jacqueline fucking said, I don't know, that was her
I mean,
chance.
she's like, I could not believe she did that, because I'm like, that's equally as insane.
It is, but I actually felt like Robin went from 0 to 100 over a comment of being Teresa's soldier. She should have just been yeah, I'm a good friend. At least I'm, I don't insert myself in other people's business. Like,
and they had a big problem with that. She was calling for Teresa to come out, and Jacqueline was like, why are you calling Teresa? Why are you calling Teresa? And it's like, if I was in that fight, wouldn't you want like your closest friend to be there to like justify either what you're saying, or to have her there so Jacqueline can't like after this like lie about what happened? See, that's what I would.
Right.
That's why I would want somebody
I had
there.
no problem with her wanting Teresa to come out.
I don't understand. It's like, if what you're saying wasn't crazy, you wouldn't care if Teresa was here. And also, it's like, this is Teresa's weekend. I love that they're like, we all did this for Teresa. And Teresa even says at dinner, she's like, it means a lot to me that all you guys came, to be here for me, because, Joe's going to be gone. And it's like, yeah, but don't they have plenty of time to be with you after Joe's gone? Because like, who are you going to be with? I'm like, why are you doing this now instead of, shouldn't she be with Joe? Instead, Melania's, using cooking spray over an open flame? Like, what's happening?
Well, it's like they don't have a nanny, so she had to do it while Joe's home to watch the kids.
Oh, he's useless.
No, we see that scene. It's just, I didn't understand what was happening, but at that fight. But I didn't like that Siggy and Dolores, call Robin crazy. Like, they're like, oh my God, she's crazy, she's dangerous, because she was defending Teresa. But they don't call Jacqueline that when she's going off and doing equally as crazy things.
Well, Robin, sorry guys, I just want to say real quick. Robin said to Jacqueline this weird run-on sentence. She said, you judged me in a way that you felt an opportunity to attack me. And I was like, when?
Wait.
Where?
When?
What are you talking about? The thing on the bus? Or is something edited out completely that we have no idea what that means? So,
it's
the Munchausen of this season.
It really is.
It wasn't on. It either wasn't on camera, or they didn't put it in, because it doesn't make sense.
Instead, we're looking at Melania making breakfast, as opposed to at least put a damn flashback in. If you're gonna cut it, at least say like 3 weeks earlier and show a thing. Like, use your time. That's another thing. It's one thing to like insert the kids here and there, but they're too all the kids are overexposed.
Also, in the middle of a very pivotal, like what has been the only fighting scene, we flashed to pancakes.
Yeah.
Love pancakes, but not the time. Not the time. To quote, not the time, not the place.
It's really.
I have to say, though, when Jacqueline sat on her, I didn't think it was that crazy, because I was like, at least she's not, in that moment, she was like smiling and laughing and like baiting her instead of cursing and screaming. She eventually was cursing and screaming, but she like kind of was like making a fool out of her, like, like just laughing about
Can I be honest with you?
So I kind of thought it was effective.
I don't remember her sitting on her. I'll be straight honest with you.
Can I put out a really crazy conspiracy theory? Maybe Robin and Jacqueline had this all planned, and it wasn't really real, because Jacqueline had that super weird, like, sick smile on her face. Not like, I'm really mad.
Exactly.
Face. It was like this weird sick smile. Maybe they were like, you know what? Filming's been going really slow. The producers asked if I could drum a little something up, so you and me will just go for it. We'll off the cuff ad lib.
Yeah.
We're gonna go for it.
Yeah.
But don't really hit me.
You know what I mean? Right.
Yeah, because then that exchange in the end when they were hugging each other goodbye, and she's like, "You're gonna take the trash out." Like, that was another thing. With like, it was like when you are creating a fake fight with someone, it's like very like, it's not really, you're not really saying anything awful to the person. You're just looking like an idiot, basically, like trying to come up with things on the top of your head that are like soft insults.
Yeah. It was like an after-school special fight.
So that's my conspiracy theory, that it was fake.
I like that. I think it very well could be.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I couldn't stand the next day that Jacqueline played such a martyr, where it's like she wouldn't come out of her room, like she refused to come out of her room to do the activities. It's like, what are you, 8?
Right.
You know, like how you'd have a sleepover and there would always be like the one girl who has a problem, like locks herself in the bathroom. It's like, I'm calling my mom to go home. Like, you're an adult. Like, you are an adult human being who's refusing to come out of your room on a weekend that isn't yours, on a planned trip. Like, How are you not mortified? Chris, how are you not mortified by your wife?
That's what he's there watching the whole thing, just sitting there so calm with his arms crossed all the time while she's going 0 to 100. It's like, what is he thinking about his wife?
Do you think Chris is like in his head, like, I could have had Teresa. This could have, like, my life could have been totally different. Like a sliding, like, was it sliding doors moment of like, what my life could have been.
I think on the bus he was definitely thinking about that.
I don't know. They don't pay him enough. Whatever he makes, if anything, more promotion. Give him more bag promotion because he has to put up with so much with her. And then she gets to the phone. She's like, "We were busy making love," and I'm like, "Oh,
That's disgusting.
The most disgusting sentence ever. Like when we were making love, kill yourself. Like that is, like, I think that's the grossest term ever. Not because Jacqueline said it. When anybody says it, I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather you say like I'm skinning puppies instead of like making, like that gives me the same visceral reaction of like, oh God, no. Like that's so gross.
Jacqueline is threatening to leave. Another thing that there you go with like the eighth grade.
She wants
sleepover.
everybody to give her attention. She like Teresa's not doing this. Nobody else is doing this. On Teresa's weekend, Jacqueline is like, I want them all to be like, why aren't you coming out, Jacqueline? Jacqueline's not coming out. Jacqueline's not coming to these events. Well, and then when she finally does, she's like, I'm gonna leave. I'm just gonna leave this weekend. And then Siggy freaks out. She's like, if she leaves, I won't even be able to eat a block of cheese. Like, why do you guys think Jacqueline's so fun? What is she bringing to the table?
What does Siggy have with Jacqueline? I mean,
Right.
she is there for her. And she's like, you're a great person, but she's 1,000 times.
Exactly. I was like, who's she talking about, Jacqueline?
Exactly.
When did they become so close?
Yeah.
Also, when did Jacqueline get better than cheese? I realize I'm like not a Jacqueline fan, but like seriously? That's insane. That's crazy.
Yes. And then Dolores, again, I don't know what she's doing on the show. She says, well, I've had it. I'm so over this. And everyone just like has to go. Or we need to, like, one person has to go or everyone has to go. And so then they're going to try to angle to get Robin out, which Teresa's never going to do that. So that's the recap for the show.
Let's do news and gossip real quick.
Let's do gossip.
Okay, like we said, Jim and Amber were on our sister network, or on the Tomorrow Show, I should say. So things that Jim went ahead and alleged about being on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. He said everything was fake and scripted. Everything was a set. No one's really has any money. So I don't know if he's alleging fake homes. It's not shot chronologically. It will be Friday night. I get home from work, and then they're alleging it's Tuesday, or vice versa. It's Tuesday, but they're telling me, hey, we're shooting that it's Friday night, and this just happened, and blah, blah, blah. They would do things to upset them. They wouldn't feed them for 12 hours at a time while they're shooting. They would, keep them up all night shooting and not get enough sleep and start shooting very early in the morning, things like that. Bravo, he also alleged Bravo paid Teresa's mortgage and bought the new Lexus so that she could just continue on with her life and shooting for them rather than having all the money issues and losing the house and having it to go foreclosure. And also Teresa set the two, Jim and Amber, up with that whole Victoria Gotti storyline. Like Teresa did that off camera, set it up to take them down last year.
What Victoria
I
Gotti
forgot about
storyline?
that. I
I forgot
remember
about it too. Like vaguely remember her being on the show alleging something horrible, but I don't even remember what.
Yeah. That the mom slept with the.
Oh, was she
Of the
the one?
twins?
Oh, the twins.
yeah, okay.
She didn't do
Yeah,
anything
what-
directly to Jim and
Yeah.
Amber.
What'd that have to do with Jim and Amber?
I don't know. I can't even remember what happened. It was like
That
the year
season,
to
like, never
forget.
happened.
Yeah, the year to
Yeah.
forget. But anyway, you guys can find that on the tomorrowshow.com, that interview.
Yes. Okay. And Danielle Staub retweeted and said, Teresa said something about how she'd be fine with having her come back on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to call this out because we've talked about this before, and like this is a kind of a breakthrough.
Major, yeah.
Yeah, hold on, where the hell is this? I'll read the tweet real fast. So Teresa says, sure, why not? I would love to see Danielle Staub come back to Real Housewives of New Jersey if she wanted to. And then, of course, Danielle was like, oh my God, that's so kind, all that. Danielle just wants the notoriety that she is an icon that put the show on the map and has lost steam ever since. And I'll always give her that credit.
If it wasn't for her, we would have never had that table flip.
Right.
Agreed.
So much. So many gifts. I wouldn't have half the gifts in my phone if you were on the damn show. Anyway, that'll do it for us, for Real Housewives of New Jersey. Where can we find you guys real quick?
You can find me at AdderallAndCompliments.com. It's the name of my blog and my podcast.
And you guys can tweet me at Megan Stecher, also on Instagram and Snapchat at the same name. It's MEGANSTECHER.
This is Fern Ronay. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Fern Ronay, and check out my website, fernronay.com.
And you guys can find me over on Twitter at Grants__rants. And October 4th at 7 p.m. Pacific, my show, Grant's Rants Hollywood Live, premieres on Bid Chat. You can catch all the podcast episodes already. They'll be there. Just look for Grant's Rants Hollywood Talk for the Real Housewives of New Jersey. We'll be back with more Housewives coming up.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.